and is attacked and subdued by the weapon. The public might instinctively feel that something is wrong, but because of the technical nature of the silent weapon, they cannot express their feelings in a rational way or handle the problems with intelligence. Therefore, they do not know how to cry for help, and they do not know how to associate with others to defend themselves against it.
This document talks about a combination of irresistible attacks upon humanity and how they will control humanity. Politically, they talk about how they set up the political system right and left so that we would feel our grievances were aired and our frustrations could come out. But the bankers were behind everyone who was elected, and they laugh at us.
And here we go, you jellyfish, in case you missed the jellyfish reference.
But the very last statement in this document, it says, Factor 6, cattle. Those who will not use their brains are no better off than those who have no brains. And so this mindless school of jellyfish, father, mother, son, and daughter, become useful beasts of burden, or trainers of the same.
We're going over some documents from 1954 from an elite group of folks who are out to control every aspect of your life and have done a good job of doing it, by the way, and are now on a full court press for the final chapter of this paperwork, and you're not going to like it. So that's why we're exposing this paperwork. We're trying to educate the public the best we can, as fast as we can, as warned in the documents, I might add. Warning: it is only a matter of time before the new breed of private programmer will catch on to the far-reaching implications of the work begun at Harvard in 1948. And today we're going to talk about the silent weapon, and I just want you guys to hear what they're talking about in 1954 about the silent weapon being unleashed on America. And I want you to think about right now, real time, what's happening in your world and what has been happening, especially the last several years. The quality of education given to the lower class must be of the poorest sort, so that the mote of ignorance isolating the inferior class from the superior class remains incomprehensible to the inferior class. I read that on yesterday's video. If you didn't watch that video, please, after this one, go watch that video. With such an intentional handicap, even bright lower class individuals have little, if any, hope of extracting themselves from their assigned lot in life. Did you hear that? Their assigned lot in life. They're playing God, and they're basically planning your future. How does that sound to you? Seriously, just take a second and reflect on what I just read. Even bright, lower class individuals will have little, if any, hope of extricating themselves from their assigned lot in life. This form of slavery is essential to maintaining some measure of social order, peace, and tranquility for the ruling upper class. So they have to keep you in this kind of a fog, otherwise you're going to be all upset. And they want to make sure they maintain their, status, lifestyle. They don't want you to find out because they know you'll be upset. Deceptive introduction of the silent weapon. Here we go. Now, I highlighted this area because this is kind of what I want to talk about today. I want you to listen closely. This is 1954, what they're planning for you in the future. Everything that is expected from the ordinary weapon is expected from the silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of functioning. It shoots situations instead of bullets. Situations instead of bullets. Have you guys been in some situations lately? All manufactured by the government? Please take this seriously. This is no joke, man. It's propelled by data processing instead of chemical reaction explosions, like in a bullet. Man, this is deep stuff. originating from its bits of data instead of grains of gunpowder, from a computer instead of a gun, operated by a computer programmer instead of a marksman, under the orders of a banking magnate instead of a military general. It makes no obvious explosion noises, causes no obvious physical or mental injuries, and does not interfere with anyone's daily social life. You picking that up? In the documents, man, 1954, they're already scheming to make computers the new weapon. Already scheming. That's what I read in yesterday's video, was that the processors were coming online, but they weren't good enough. They weren't fast enough. And you're thinking that all this computer stuff is so organic and it just happened, and it's not. All this computer stuff was actually designed to keep you in total bondage, and for them to data mine all of your information so they can behind the scenes pull all the strings to manipulate you into doing exactly what they want. I mean, this is off the chain. Yet it makes an unmistakable noise, causes unmistakable physical and mental damage, and unmistakably interferes with daily social life. It unmistakably, to a trained observer, one who knows what to look for. The public cannot comprehend this weapon and is attacked and subdued by the weapon. The public might instinctively feel that something is wrong, but because of the technical nature of the silent weapon, they cannot express their feelings in a rational way or handle the problems with intelligence. Therefore, they do not know how to cry for help, and they do not know how to associate with others to defend themselves against it. I mean, y'all, everything is so messed up. We have to snap out of it. We have to take control now. This is, I'm just going to keep reading. This is just how I feel. Like, time is short, okay? The long play is over. This is we're where the rubber hits the road here now, folks. When the silent weapon is applied gradually to the public adjusts to its presence and learns to tolerate its encroachment on their lives until the pressure, psychological via economic, becomes too great and they crack up. Therefore, the silent weapon is a type of biological warfare. It attacks the vitality, options, and mobility of the individual of a society by knowing, understanding, manipulating, attacking their sources of natural and social energy, and their physical, mental, and emotional strengths and weaknesses. I can't even believe I'm reading this to you word for word. Theoretical introduction. Give me control over a nation's currency, and I will not care who makes its laws. That was said by Mayer Amschel Rothschild, and he was alive from 1743 to 1812. Today's silent weapon technology is an outgrowth of a simple idea discovered succinctly expressed and effectively applied by the quoted Mr. Mayer Amschel Rothschild. Mr. Rothschild discovered the missing passive component of economic theory known as economic induction. He, of course, did not think of his discovery in the 20th century term, and to be sure, mathematical analysis had to wait for the second industrial revolution to rise of the theory of mechanics and electronics, and finally the invention of the electronic computer before it could effectively be applied in the control of the world economy. So I just want you guys to understand, way back in the day, the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, all these people that you've heard about, maybe you haven't heard about them, they have been orchestrating your life from the grave, literally. And right now we are on a full court press about it. And I am reading you these documents. They are from 1954, and they were found and made public. People have been trying to make this information public for a very long time, and all they get is blown off. They get told that it's a conspiracy theory, that it's all nonsense. But can we just step back from ourselves just for a second and look at the last several years, at least the last 5 years of our lives, and we can see now clearly what's going on, and that this is the game plan? The speed of which they can communicate their warnings to the public will largely depend on how effective we have been at controlling the media, subverting education, and keeping the public distracted with matters of no real importance. That's another reason why they're going faster, is because we are now using the internet to help wake up people to this genocide. That's what they're doing. They are into population control, and they are into you worthless eaters being discarded. They look at you with no more regard than they do livestock. I'm gonna bring up the next documents after this. There's other documents. This is just one of them. I just want you guys to understand that there has been a full court press all this time. That's why we came out with the UPC codes, right? Those barcodes that you have on everything that you shop with. That's for tracking. And Bush Sr. implemented those, okay? And that was all for tracking. And pretty soon, okay, the goal is to get it on everything. So if you buy a car, the seat will have one, the gear shift will have one, everything inside the vehicle will have one. Everything you buy will have one, and every piece of it will have one. So they can control every single thing that you're doing. So they know every single place that you're spending money. All right? That's what we're up against. See you on the next video. If you want a copy of the documents, go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com, fill out the box. I will be sending out the link to this document so you can read it for yourself and have all of it. And then I'll be talking about the next couple of documents, and then I'll be releasing those as well. So I can't put them on the videos, in case you're wondering, because YouTube will sniff them out, and then they'll start banning my videos. That's what happens. So I have to go to the emails because it's more private, and it's safer for me to send that information directly via the emails. They haven't got into super monitoring the emails. I can send those out with the links. All right.